see my screen. Okay, so that's perfect. That's perfect. So guys, I want us to pick it from here, actually where we stopped yesterday. We were actually discussing various modes, that is various command modes, which are very, very necessary, especially when it comes to configuration. So I'll pick it from here. We go through it together, then I'll be able to, at least now have some simulation, that is labs, again together here. And I want to believe today, guys managed to download and install the packet tracer as, we demonstrated yesterday. So I want to believe guys have managed to download that, tool, a very, very important tool, which will help you to understand the kind of network that you want to set up. Now, anytime that you are setting up or configuring a device, so one thing to note is that these devices, and more so the Cisco devices, will actually walk you through various modes. And the first mode that you will encounter is the user mode by default. Anytime you switch on, a router, a switch, or any other, Cisco product, which is command enabled or command line enabled, then these are the modes that you expect. Unlike the wireless device, which mostly will be using a graphical user interface. Okay, but again, there's some wireless devices that are command based as well. So it will depend with the kind of product, okay, that you have. So we said that the first mode, user mode, is more of a limited mode with only few commands. There's nothing much you can do apart from just viewing and doing the verification of your configuration. So that's what we said. And again, if you want just do some basic monitoring, then this is the mode that actually you can be. Then from there, we move to privilege mode, which is more powerful than the first mode, the previous mode, the user mode. Okay, and even the commands that it has. You remember how we're able to display those commands in each mode? Yes. So those commands are very, very powerful depending on the mode that you are allocated. So again, it allows access to all commands and features that are there. So how do you know you are in a privilege mode? Look at the hash symbol. How do you know you are in a user mode? Look at that greater than sign symbol. Okay. So from privilege mode, you'll move to global mode. You'll move to global mode. Okay. So this is the mode where you can perform or do the configurations where you will, do what? You will affect the environment of the system. You will affect the environment of the system. So that's the most important thing that I want you to understand. So whenever doing the configurations, be it passwords, be it, the interfaces, be it some sort of routing that you want to do on various devices, always be on a global mode. Then remember again what we said, that while on a global mode, you'll perform now these configurations, whether you want to do a line configurations, be it line console 0, okay? Or you want to set SSH, telnet, and even the auxiliary, okay? So whatever the mode that you'll get while on global mode is what I'm calling a sub mode. So it could be line sub-configurations. It could be an interface sub-configurations as stated. And that's why you can see you have config dash line, meaning you are this config alone is telling you already you are on a global mode, but now you are moving to sub mode, which is line sub mode that you are configuring, or interface config hyphen if for interface that you are configuring an interface, okay, depending on the interface that you are configuring. And that's what I want us to go through immediately after this, so that at least get to understand what I'm talking about practically. So navigating between these modes, as we have said, commands are very, very useful. You make use of command. If you want to move from privilege mode, user mode to privilege mode, enable command will be used. So you type enable command, okay? Then now, if you want now to move from privilege mode to global mode, okay, the configure terminal command will be used. So to move in and out of global, use the configure terminal command. Return to privilege, okay. Then again, you can as well, use that command exit, okay. So like now what we have is a line console 0. 0 is the first virtual line within the Cisco devices. Usually have up to 16. They have been numbered 0, 2, okay, 15. So those are now 16 of them. So to move in and out of this again, use the line command followed by the management line type, okay, this one here. Then you can see, I want to go back to global mode, exit. So you're moving backward one step. You're moving backward one step. So that's the most important thing. So it's something we studied yesterday, and it's just a continuation. So hope we are moving together. Then, as we have said again, because these devices are command-based, routers, switches, and any other devices, they are command-based. So meaning you'll be using commands mostly, issuing those commands. So for example, you can see if we talk about the command structure, it's important to understand the command structure. For example, if this is a switch prompt, it's a switch prompt, or it could be a router prompt, depending on the device you're accessing. So show is a command. Ping is a command. Remember, these are commands which come with the iOS already, part of it inbuilt. And therefore, you have to use the commands the way they are. Okay, so they have those commands. So we have the keywords, very, very important, and the argument that we need to understand. So which are these keywords? Okay, the keyword and the argument. So for the case of the keyword, so you can see a specific parameter defined in the OS or operating system, like the IP protocols. Okay, so apart from command that we know, then we have those keywords. Then the arguments. This not predefined. What does it mean? It means it's something we expect from you as the user. For example, ping, and the IP address. So where are you going to get that IP address? It is the IP address of your device. So the system will not reject the IP address you are giving unless maybe it's something that you have not typed properly. Because if you look at the structure of the IP address 192.168.10.5, as we'll be discussing more in the subsequent modules or chapters that we have about the IP addressing and its structure. So 192.168.10.5. So it's a command that comes from you as the user, not from the system. So it's a user predefined command or value. But IP protocols and other like show IP protocols, show interfaces, those are the things that are part of the operating system or the iOS. And you must type them the way they are there. Now, there's some sort of help. We call them iOS help features. So with this help, you can see the two forms of help available: context-sensitive help and command syntax check. For the context, enables you to quickly find your answers to the following questions. For example, which commands are available in each command mode? Like, what did we use yesterday to get the commands which are available in each mode? Which character are we using to verify that? If you can remember, yesterday, in each mode, there's some commands that we were applying, or I was using it. Okay. It was which command? Question mark. Remember question mark? While in user mode, yes, Brian, it was question mark. Okay, question mark. You put question mark and you get to understand the commands that are available in each mode. So that's one sort of context-sensitive help that we have. Which commands start with specific characters or group of characters? For example, sometimes it's difficult to remember all the characters of a given command. Maybe the only thing that you know is that command starts with the letter P, but I can't remember what the command is. So you just type P, then question mark. Then on that mode where you are, it will list for you all the commands that start with the letter P. So you can check whether the command you're looking for is among the one being displayed. So P, okay, question mark. Or question mark character. Question mark C. Question mark S, meaning the one that ends with the character you have specified. All commands that ends with P. All commands that end with C. Context-sensitive help. Which arguments and keywords are available to particular commands? Yes. So you can have all this. For example, ping space, then question mark. So there's a difference between a space and without a space when actually using the question mark. So with a space, for example, like what you can see, ping space question mark, what do you want to ping? You can ping a word, a name, okay? You can ping an IP address. For example, you can ping www.cisco.com, for example, or any other domain. Then you can ping the IP address, okay? So that's actually the point of having this context-sensitive help. So it actually gives the arguments and keywords that are available for a particular command. So don't strain yourself because, you will get them there. They're available. Then the other one is command syntax check, which verifies whether you have entered a valid command. Okay. So expect some sort of errors. Sorry. So expect some sort of errors in case of any violation. Because sometimes the command that you entered will not be interpreted depending with the command or the kind of mistake. Now, for example, you can see what we have here. And you can see even the description of that particular error. Interface has Ethernet 01. Then you're being told invalid input detected at, okay. Now, which mode is this? Which mode is this? The mode is privilege mode. Is a privilege mode. And you want to configure an interface. Yes, Kevin, that's true, privilege mode. And you want to configure an interface, okay? That interface is not supposed to be configured within the privilege mode. Anything that you are configuring has to be done on a global mode. Please take note of that. Anything that you want to configure has to be on a global mode. Unless you want to verify, sure. Unless you want to ping, that's okay. But if you want to do any configurations, please remember to go to global mode. Otherwise, you'll be getting errors. And the moment the errors have been detected, it means it has not been accepted. So nothing has been configured. So you'll have to do it. You'll have to start again and configure that. So those are the two form of helps data we have. Then we have the hotkeys and shortcuts. Yes, sometimes you can make use of this. Okay. Now, with the hotkeys, which actually will help you while doing your configurations or when you carry out any troubleshooting or you monitor something. So they're telling you that you don't have to type the entire command on condition that that command is the only command that starts with specific characters you have stated. For example, if you move to the user mode, we have the enable command. So instead of typing everything like enable, you can just have like en, only 2 characters, en. On condition, there is no any other character that again start with en. So that's how we can make use of this. You can see configure is the only command that begins with conf. You cannot have con, because look at this. Like what you have said about the context sensitive help. You can see con. Maybe here I might decide to go a bit practical because there are things which are available. So I'll just have one switch to demonstrate that one. Okay. Let me give it time to boot up. Then press return key. Return key is the enter key on your keyboard. Return key is the enter key on your keyboard. So the first mode that you'll get here, you can see, is user mode. So which commands are available on this mode? Shift ? It will list for you the commands which are available, the one that you can use while on this mode. Okay. Now, I want to move to privilege mode. The command enable. So look at that enable, en. Is there any other command that starts with the en? None. Because it's the only command that starts with the en, the idea is I don't have to type everything. I can press the tab key. The tab key on your keyboard, tab key, then it will complete it for you. Tab key, it will complete for you. Then enter. Okay? That's the point. That's the point. The commands that start with E are two. So E question mark, it will list, there are three. So it will list for you enable, erase, exit. That's the commands that start with letter E. So the use of context-sensitive help. Okay. Don't make a mistake of doing the configurations here about the command syntax. Okay. So line console 0. Enter. Okay. You see this? You cannot perform these configurations while in a privilege mode. That's why you get this error. Meaning, okay, you are on the wrong mode. So move to the right mode. And other commands that you'll be getting, those who did programming as a unit, you know those various types of errors, okay? The likes of syntax errors, semantic errors, and other sort of errors. Logical errors, the worst being logical errors, because it interferes with the formulas. But this one, we just need to understand the syntax errors that we are getting here. So it's a violation of the rule. So I want to move to global mode, conf T for configure. Terminal, T, configure terminal, conf T. So if you enter, it will take you to global mode. So you are on a global mode. You are on a global mode. Commands which are available on this mode. Okay. So you can see there are more commands, more at the end, more. So you can use press enter key to display those commands line by line, or you can use the space bar to display the next screen. So it depends with how you want to do it. So you can just use enter until you're able to see everything. But if there are so many and you think you're wasting a lot of time, space bar to display everything. Okay, so that's how we need to understand all these commands that we have and how they'll be used. Okay, to do your configuration. So that's the most important bit they're talking about here. So for the case of you can see the keystrokes. The tab key that I've used, tab key, completes a partially command name entry. Backspace erases the character to the left of the cursor. Left arrow or Control and B. So you need to understand this command if at all you want to use the shortcut. So when you press Control and letter B, so remember this within the packet tracer, not the Word document. So they have different meaning. So this one move the cursor one character to the left. Right arrow, Control F, move the cursor one character to the right. Up arrow, Control P, recalls the command, the history buffer, beginning with the most recent commands that you had configured. So if at all you want to use the shortcuts, then that's actually the point there. Okay, so I hope that is clear now. So this is the point actually where we'll be now doing the configurations. Okay, and something very, very important to take note of. When you have your devices within a rack or the server room, of course, within the rack, it's good to name those devices depending on how they have been configured, or how the infrastructure is. Which one connects where? Okay. If it's a router connecting another branch, so you can give the name of the router with the name of that branch. Let's say, you can say maybe Isumu branch router. Okay. You can have Embu branch router and such. Those are the naming you can have are there. Very, very important. And the naming must be unique. If it's connecting different departments, different schools, depending with the institution, if it's a learning institution, then you can say School of Education router, and such kind of thing. So, such kind of naming. So the naming guidelines are given. When naming a device, always remember to start with a letter. Okay, contain no spaces. Because if you have spaces now will be counted. For example, you can see what we have here. This is switch, floor 1. So no spaces. So hyphen is being used. Dash is being used. Underscore, those are the special things that you can have, but don't have spaces. So depending the name of the naming that you are giving. End with a letter or digit. For example, you see this floor 1, floor 2, floor 3. Okay. So the only recognize, characters can make use of letters, digits, and dashes as well. So your naming or the name should not be more than 64 characters. It has to be less. Don't worry, I'm going to demonstrate this in a few. Then now, perhaps you have realized the mistake that you have made and you want to do away with that name. The command no host name is enough. Don't even give the name. If, for example, switch floor 1, at no host name switch floor 1, no. Just type no host name, it will actually remove that name, taking you to the default name of a device, a switch or a router. So it will take you back to the default name of a switch or a router. So you can go ahead and now give the name that you want. Then passwords. It's important to set your devices with password. And in our case, we have talked about various modes. User mode, privilege mode. Those modes are supposed to be protected with passwords. So we have those password guidelines. So, and therefore, make use of strong passwords, the one that cannot be easily guessed. Don't use the known passwords like admin. Your password is admin. That is obvious. Someone can just guess. Okay? Or the name of anything. So the passwords are supposed to be more than 8 characters in length, meaning you have to set the minimum length of a password. Then you can have a combination of upper, lowercase numbers, special characters, or numeric sequence being used to be part of your password. Something to note, again, avoid using the same password for all devices. So all your devices have the same password. Admin, switch admin, router admin, wireless admin. Okay, avoid such kind of passwords. So, and therefore they're saying, don't use those common passwords because, hackers are hackers. They can easily guess those passwords. And by the way, nowadays we have a lot of softwares that can be used, to crack those passwords. Okay, to crack those passwords. So password length also matters, and how you have combined them. So someone written Kitoto as the password, someone written Kitoto at, maybe admin 234 something. Start cracking these two passwords and compare the duration that it will take, the two passwords. You'll find that Kitoto alone will take just few seconds or less than some few minutes, and you have the password. Even if they have been hashed, that's the point. Those hashed passwords, they can be easily cracked. But the other one now with special characters, etc. combined, can take even years when it's still cracking. Okay, so check the length of your password. Password length, very, very important. Then how do you configure these passwords? How do you configure these passwords? So as we have said, we have line console password. So if you want to secure the user executive mode, you can set that line password. First, enter line console configuration password using line console 0. Next, specify the user mode with a password. Password, then set the password, as you can see. On a global mode, line console 0, pass Cisco. Then login command. So you're trying to enable the login command for you to be prompted to have the password. So the line password, we have two line passwords, line console 0 and line VTY 0. Those are the line passwords. These line passwords must have the login command. Okay. Now, failure to put the login command, then there's no way you'll be prompted to have the password. It's like your PIN, okay, your SIM card, you have removed the PIN, it's pinless. So what do you expect? So the same thing, login command will be there to prompt the users to have their password. Then protect the privilege mode. Protect the privilege mode. We have the enable secret password. Enable secret password protects the privilege mode. Line console password protects the user mode. Okay. So the moment you're able to access user mode and privilege mode, then definitely you get a global mode. Then you are authorized user, because those are the only two modes that will be protected with this password. Then we have line VTY, okay, password with various virtual terminals. Securing line VTY, mostly when doing remote access or when you want to do a remote access, you can set the line VTY password. So line VTY 0 to 15, meaning up to 16 users in this case are allowed to access any device remotely. You are in Nairobi, you want to access a device located in Mombasa or in any part of the country, then yes, you'll be able to do so, as long as you have the password for that device. So you'll be able to access it. And when accessing that, then there are various utilities or protocols that again are very, very useful when it's come to accessing of this. Telnet or SSH. These are the remote access protocols that we have. But we do encourage SSH, not Telnet. So when you run the Wireshark, then you stream, TCP stream, you'll find that, okay, you'll be able to see the output of the Telnet. Your username, your passwords, everything, the IP address used, everything will be displayed. Domain names, unlike the SSH, which will encrypt. Okay, so I know in the next level, we'll be talking about the SSH configurations. Now we have, as we have said, your passwords needed to be encrypted. And those commands that, those passwords that we have talked about, line console password, line V2I password, and enable secret password. So it's only the enable secret password that will encrypt automatically your password. But the other two, line console and line V2I, are not encrypted. And therefore, you must have this command, service password encryption. This password, this password here will encrypt those two passwords. So usually it encrypts the current and the future passwords. The current and the future passwords. So you're being encouraged, before even setting your configurations, you can set it first, service password encryptions. Then any password that you have entered, and also line console and line V2I, will be automatically encrypted because of this command, service password encryption. You can view this command using show running config. Show running config. Okay. Show running config. And you can see these are encrypted passwords. These are encrypted passwords, as you can see. Okay. But still, I can decrypt, I can crack and get the password that you have used. And that's why I'm saying the length of the password matters. So depending with the length of the password you had set, depending on the length, so I can easily get, the password that you have used by cracking it, because those softwares are there as well. Huh? So that's why they emphasize on the what? The length of the password are there. Banner messages. Yes, very, very important to have a banner message or banner messages. So this is to warn any unauthorized personnel. So it's good also to set the banner message on your devices. The command for setting or creating a banner message is banner MOTD, banner message of the day, banner message of the day. Okay, banner message of the day. Then end with noun, various delimiter characters, the hash, start, end, put hash, or any other character, so long as it's not part of the message. So you can have hash, you can have at, you can have quotation. It has to be one character being used. For example, you can see here, hash. Then you see, sorry, it's here, hash. Then end with hash. Okay. Double quotes or quotes, end with quotes. At, end with at. Those are what I'm calling delimiting character. Delimiting character. So entered before and after the message. So anytime you access a device, you start a device, the first message that you will get is this: authorized access only. Authorized access only is the message that you add put here. So there's no way you can say you don't see this message. And you can see it is a warning message. Don't use a friendly message or messages when setting up this banner message. It's a mistake most people normally do. Welcome to our network. Feel free to access what you want. No. So for legal purposes, it will not be possible to prosecute that person because of your message are there. Okay, we are about to start our labs. We're about to start our labs in a few. We'll do everything that we have discussed there. Now, take note of the configuration files. Usually, Cisco devices do have two system files. Startup config file and running config file. Startup config file and running config file. Please take note of this. And with the startup config file, it's a file stored in NVRAM, non-volatile RAM, a permanent storage device. Running config file is a file stored within the RAM, random access memory. Okay. And this one is volatile. When the power goes off, that is it. You won't be able to retrieve your work. So by default, when doing your configurations on those Cisco devices, remember, you are on a RAM. You are on a RAM. And that's why you have to save them to NVRAM so that you can retrieve them back. So you can copy what you have configured within the RAM to NVRAM. So you can see copy RAM to NVRAM, meaning copying the two files, copy running config to startup config. You copy the two. So the content of your configuration is being moved to startup config. To startup config. You can alter your configurations. Alter the running configurations. Meaning, you can decide to remove them, especially when you are still at RAM. So you can restart your device by reloading. Reloading. As long as you are still within the RAM, then you are removing everything there. Okay. The moment you have saved them, the moment they have been saved in the NVRAM, even if you use the keyword reload, you will not be able to erase them. And therefore, the command erase startup config is being used to erase the entire NVRAM. The entire NVRAM. Okay, that's the most important thing that I want you to understand there. So alter the running configurations. Ports and addresses. Of course, we know that we need to configure our devices, and they have to be uniquely identified on a network. Guys, am I still audible? Yeah. Yes, I'm confirming because it's raining here heavily, and that's why I was a bit afraid. Okay. So now, of course, you know how to to configure the IP addresses on your laptops, your desktops. You can use static command, the static way. You can use PCP way to do or to set the configurations there. So that's actually the point. Okay. So be it IPv4, be it IPv6, yes. So we need to set the IP addresses. I know when we'll be discussing more on IPv6 addresses, we'll talk about all this and its configuration. So we'll discuss, we have a topic, a whole topic on IPv6 that we'll look at later. Okay. Now, so this is how we do the configurations. Of course, depending with your OS, Linux, Windows, Mac OS. So we have those obvious ways of doing the configurations. How do you access and set this? Okay. Okay, control panel, network sharing, center, change adapter settings. Okay, then we set that configurations are there. Of course, this is being done on your laptop and your desktop. Okay. Now, the virtual interfaces. The virtual interfaces. You know, we have those physical interfaces of our devices, a switch or a router. The physical interfaces. But we can also have the virtual interfaces being set. Switch virtual interface on a switch. Now, by default, Cisco switches do have VLAN 1 by default. VLAN 1 by default. So all the interfaces, I'm going to show you all this. All the interfaces are attached to VLAN 1. Are attached to VLAN 1. So if you want to access that switch remotely, then you have to set it with a virtual interface. Switch virtual interface. On a global mode, just have interface VLAN 1 because already it's there. VLAN 1 is given by default. Then the IP address of that interface. Then you enable it. Now, something to note. All the interfaces, the Cisco device interfaces are in shutdown mode. They are in shutdown mode. Now, because they are in shutdown mode, you need to enable them to be up using the command no shutdown. No shutdown. So it will enable those interfaces to be up and active. Okay? And you'll be able now to access, you'll be able now to access it without any problem. So let's now move to the practical bit of it. Let's move to practical bits of it because we're just discussing the concept. We're discussing the concept. So I want us now to configure everything that we have talked about there, step by step. So it's the only way to be able to understand all this. So already I'd dragged this switch here. So I want to bring in a router. So I'll go to, you see this, the network devices. Then down here is a router. I click on this router. Then I'll get the series of routers. So I want to use either 4331 or 4321. 4331 or 4321. Here, the latest series of devices that we have, the latest one that we have. So I've picked 4331. Okay. I'm also bringing in the end devices. The end device is a PC, okay, here, okay, a PC or a laptop or a server. So I can bring in this PC here. I bring in maybe a laptop. I bring in maybe a server under the end devices. Those who are joining today, this is what we explained yesterday. Okay. Then I need to connect them. I need to connect them. So down here, you have connection. Okay. Then now we have various type of connection. Of course, they'll be used to connect different devices. But in our case, we are taking the Ethernet cables. The Ethernet cables here are, okay, are straight through, and crossover. Straight through is for connecting devices which are not the same. For example, on connecting a switch to a router, they're not the same. When connecting a switch to PCs, to servers, to laptops, they're not the same. So use this. So I click on this, then move to router. You can start from any point. There's no problem. You can start by connecting from any point. So you can start from this PC to switch, switch to router, or you can start from router to switch, switch to, it depends. So I'll click on this router. The moment you click on a router, guys, you'll be able to see the ports which are available on the router. You have a USB console port. You have an auxiliary port. You have a console port. You have the gigabit Ethernet port, 000 and 001. And I've said the two cables, straight through and crossover, are the Ethernet ports, are the Ethernet cables. Therefore, you need the Ethernet port. You need the Ethernet port. So you'll connect to G00 of the router, take the switch. Now you can see this switch is a 24 switch port. First Ethernet 01 all the way to 024. Mostly when connecting your PCs, the end devices. Then you have the other port, gigabit Ethernet port. So the gigabit Ethernet port is for connecting the router. Routers are giga. So giga and giga go together. So connect this to giga. Okay. Then you connect the next device straight through PC Ethernet port of your laptop. Connect it to these Ethernet ports. Choose any. Choose any. Okay. I can choose one. I pick another one. Again, server. I can connect it to port 2. You can see port 1 disappear because already it is occupied. It cannot be there. So 2 is available for me. I pick that. I can pick another one to the laptop. Okay. Then to the switch. You can see 1 and 2 are not there. They are occupied. So you have 3 up to the last one. Huh? So you can have that one. So I'm setting up a topology. This is a local area network topology. So I need now to start configuring my device, a router, this router here, this router. So I'll click on the router, then move to the command line of the router. Okay. Then you can see here, the question here. You have a question here. Would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? Now you can use, there are 2 ways to configure this. You can use a dialog or you can use command line. Dialog or command line. But in our case, we'll be using command line. Command line gives you a space to do the configurations the way you want. Dialog means you are being guided based on what they're posting for you. That's now dialog. Okay? Both can be used to set the configurations. So here, I type no because I don't want to use dialog. So always type no. Always type no, then enter. Then enter. Then you can start your configuration. Which mode is this? It is the user mode. User mode. User mode of a router. So I want to move to privilege mode. Which command? Enable command. Enable EN tab key, enter. Okay. If you want to go back, to privilege mode, disable. 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 It will take you back to user mode. Enable, disable. Enable, disable. That's how you can be navigating. Okay. But for our case, I'll scroll up. It is enable. Enter. I want to move to to global mode from privilege level. Configure. Configure. Terminal. Okay. Units can exit be used in that case. Okay. Yeah, you can use exit here, but the moment you exit, let's just try. The moment you exit, you'll not be able to see the user mode. Enter. Okay. It has, getting out of that completely. You have seen it now, Eunice. Okay. So EN or enable, enter. Config T, configure terminal, enter. So I'm on a global mode. I want to configure the port, the interface. Now, sometimes the word port and interface are being used. Some will call it ports, others will call it interfaces. Those two terms are being used interchangeably. Those two terms are being used interchangeably. Okay. So the interface or the port I'm configuring is this. You can see the port is down. Which port did I connect? G000. Interface, okay. Gigabit Ethernet 000. That's the port I'm configuring. This one here. I'm click on it again. The red line, remove it. This one here. This is what I'm configuring. Some people do make mistake. You are selecting G000 and you are configuring G001. It will not be up. Okay. So that's the point. Someone is saying I'm not clear. Yes, am I still clear? Please confirm whether I'm still audible. It's Matthew, William, Peter, Ian. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So, as I've said, the interface I'm configuring is G000. So I'll type interface, int, interface, or just int. It's okay. Then G0, okay, /0, /0. This one is a 3-type interface, depending with your device. Some are 2-type. That will require only 0, /0. In our case, you cannot use this. If you enter, you can see invalid interface type and number because it's a 3-type interface. So I'll scroll up and add another 0 because it's a 3-type interface, G000, then enter. Now, I'm going to have an IP address set on this. I'm going to have an IP address set on this. So I'm going to use the place note. This is the place note, guys. If you want to have some writings, place note, click on it. Then I can have the IP address here. Sorry. IP address. I'm using here 192.168. Okay. .1.0. Prefix 24. Prefix 24. So so I can use the select to here. Disable that. Select to disable it. So I have this one here. And move it the way I want. This is the IP address I'll be using here. Okay. So I'll explain the topic of IP addresses later. Okay. Then, so the interface G0/0/0. So this is a sub interface mode. Config if it is a sub interface mode. The sub interface mode. So it means I'm below this or I'm under this interface. So I can put the IP address here. IP address 192.168.1.1. I'm using the first IP address of the network that I've given up here. This is the network address. 1.0 is the network. Okay. 1.0 is the network. So the first usable IP address is 1.1, then 1.2, 1.3, in that order. Okay, in that order. So someone is asking what this is a sub interface mode. Config if. You see, it's global dash if sub interface mode. Because you are doing it on a global mode. You are doing it on a global mode. That's why you have that. Okay. Then now, then prefix 24. Prefix 24. It is 255 dot, okay, 255 dot 255 dot 0. Okay. Then enter. Enter. Then no shut down. No shut down. Okay. No shut down. So with the no shut down, remember what we have said. These interfaces, and by the way, before we enter, just point on it. Point on it. Look at those interfaces. Here about Ethernet 000 link down, down, down. You can see all of them are down. They are down. Okay. That's the default settings. So we're supposed to enable them to be up. So which one are we configuring? 0, 0, 0. So we expect the state of that interface to change from down to up. From down to up. After entering that. Enter. Okay. Enter. So you can see the state. The state here. Link 5. 5 means a severe level means notification. You're being notified. It's just a notification. So it's armless. Okay. Notification, the state change state to up. Up, up. Line protocol, change state to up. So it is up, up. Layer 1, layer 2. Up, up. Up, up. Layer 1, layer 2. Up, up. Okay. That's why you can see this up and this up. Okay. Up, up. So the state has changed to up, and therefore you can see the green light. Okay. You can see initially they were facing down, no? Red facing down, red facing down. Now it's green facing up, meaning the interface is now up and active and active. Okay, now I started with that IP address. Now I want to go back and do the basics. Host name, passwords, you know, all those, name them. Okay, I want to go back and do those basics. So you can start from any point. You can start with the interfaces. You can start from the basic host name and the rest. So there's no order while doing your configurations. So that means I love to go back to, okay, I love to go back to global mode. Go back, moving backward one step. Which command am I supposed to use there? Which command am I supposed to use there? Which command? I want to go back to global mode because I'm now on a sub interface mode. Not really, not disable. Exit command. Disable you can only use disable while on privilege mode. You are on privilege mode, you want to go back to user mode, you disable. That's why it's enable. You enable, you take to privilege mode. You disable, you go back to user mode. Okay, yeah, exit command, exit command. Thank you. You are following, then enter. You can see you are good students. Okay. Then, now I'm on this mode. This is a global mode. So I'm bringing in a new configuration. This time around, I want us to give the name of this router. By default, the name is router, by default. But can you have a unique name? Yes, we can have a unique name. The name is host. Host name is the command. Host name is the command. Host name space, okay. Davis, host name R1. Davis want us to use R1. Okay, I'll use that one, Davis, R1, as you have said. Okay, host name R1. Now, the moment you enter, look at this. The default name router will disappear or will be replaced with R1. R1. Okay, enter. So you can see now it's R1. It's no longer router. Okay, maybe you don't want this name. I don't want this name. I want maybe, perhaps you have realized another device exists with the same name. So I want to remove this name. So what you do while there, just have no name, no host name. Enter. So it will take you back to the default factory name, router. Okay, router. So now I can scroll up again, scroll up to host name. So which name you want to give? Maybe R1 or R1 dash, maybe ICTA. I'm just giving examples. No spacing. Naming guideline, very important. No spacing. Okay. Then enter. So you can see R1 ICTA. Replacing the default name router. So that's about the host name. Now, let's move to passwords. Let's move to passwords. So there are three types of passwords you can set here. Line console password, line VTY passwords, and enable secret password. Each password has a role or a function. We don't just set the password for the sake of it. Like the password we have talked about, the first one, line console password. What did we say it does? It protects the user mode. It protects the user mode. So line console 0. 0 is the first virtual line. Remember, that's what we have said. Line console 0. Also, when using the console cable, come with your cable, plug it in. Okay, you'll be prompted for a password. The password that you'll enter is the line console password. Okay, so line console password is the first type of password we're talking about. Enter. So which mode are we? These are a line sub mode. That's why you can see config dash line. It is a line sub mode. Okay, meaning now anything that you are doing here, any configuration that you are doing is affecting line console 0, because now you are below this, under this line console 0. So anything that you do now is affecting this, what you're configuring, or is being applied to it. Okay, line console 0, password. I'll use Cisco as the password there. Okay, enter. Because it's a line password, login command will be required. So login, enter. I'm through with this. I'm through with a line console password. Now, I'm moving to the next type of password. The next type of password. And therefore, I will exit to go back to global mode because I need to start. It's a new configuration I'm doing. Exit. So back to global mode. You cannot proceed on the other mode because it means whatever you are configuring, it's still underline console 0. And that's why we are moving back. So enable secret. The keyword secret encrypt the password that you're going to give. The keyword secret encrypt the password that you're going to give. So enable secret class. Class is the password. You can replace this class with your name. Enable secret, your name. Enable secret ICTA. Enable secret Itoto. No, anything. Okay, anything. But this one is not a line password. It's not a line password. And this password protects the privilege mode. It protects the privilege mode. Now, the other password, the third password is line VTY. Now, virtual terminals 0 to 15. 0 to, so now this one, I know sometimes people do wonder why 0 to 4, why 0 to 15. Now, there's no because that means this line virtual terminal password is being required when doing remote access. That's why it's being set. It's meant for remote access. So when you say 0 to 4, it means you want up to 5 people to access that device from different locations remotely or from where they are remotely. So 0, 1, 2, 3, okay, 4. When you say 0 to 15, you want 16 people to access that switch remotely. As long as you have given them the password to do so, to a remote access. That's the meaning. So the default usually is 0 to 15. But it depends how you want it. So if you want 0 to 4, fine. Okay. Then enter. Then password. Can I use the keyword PDTP? For remote access, I want to differentiate it from the other passwords, 600 plus. Okay. And because it is a line password, config line, because it's a line password, login command will be required. Login command will be required. Don't forget that. login command will be required. Okay. So I've set the 3 passwords. Line console password, protect my user mode. Enable secret password to protect my privilege mode. Line VTY or line terminal, virtual terminal for remote access. For remote access. I'm through with those passwords. I want to do a new configuration, a new thing. Banner message. Banner message. I will exit, meaning I'm going back to global mode to start my new configurations. I hope you're getting the sequence of what I'm doing, the flow. The flow. That's what is important. Get the flow. Okay? Because it's just a matter of hours, and tomorrow you should be, experts. Let no one cheat you that it is difficult. Nothing is difficult here. It's a matter of just practicing, and that is it. We're moving on. Okay? Now, we talked of banner messages. Banner messages. So banner messages, as we have said, are more of warning kind of messages, especially for people who have the habit of accessing things without your consent behind you. Okay. So you set those kind of warning messages. So the command is banner MOTD, message of the day. Message of the day. MOTD, message of the day. MOTD, message of the day. Space. Now, as we have said, delimiters. Those characters are very, very special characters, depending on the kind of banner message that you want. So I can do the hash. I can do the and. I can do the quotation or any other character. Maybe I want to do and. The and. Then instead of now giving the message, I'll enter and I have a space where I can do, I can now do, I want to format the way I want. Okay. Then enter. Then enter. Then with the message, okay, which we said must be a warning message. Must be a warning message. So I can have the message, this is a secure system or network, that matter, or anything, okay? No illegal access. No illegal access. So because I'd started with this character, the and character here, I have to end it with the same. Okay, enter. Then I do my formatting. Okay, enter. I'm through with that. I'm now supposed to go back to my prompt and proceed with my configuration. So end with the same character, then enter. Okay, so I've done my banner message. This one here. I've formatted the message the way I want, as you can see here. Okay. So those are the basic things that I want you to take a note of are there. Okay. I can exit. I can exit. Enter again. Then exit is something I want us to test here. I'm out. Now, assuming now you're getting in for the first time. The moment you enter, the first thing that you'll be able to see is this banner message. Okay. It is a warning message. It's a warning message. It's not a friendly message. It's a warning message. Then you will be able to see user access verification. That's why we are setting those 3 passwords. Line console password, line VTY password, and enable secret password. Okay. So which type of password are we supposed to have here? So remember, before you were able to go through and directly to the user mode. At this time round, you must put a password for you to access the what? The user mode. So which password? Remember, it's a line console password, which was what? Cisco. Cisco. But there I'm typing it. I'm typing it, but it will not be displayed. It will not be displayed just in case someone is peeping, okay, on you. But just type, then enter. Oh, I've put the wrong password. Okay, it is Cisco. Cisco. Okay, so you can see it's okay. So you can see now I've managed to access the what? I've managed to access the user mode of that router through that password. Then I want to move to privilege mode. Enable or EN, enter. So enable for me to access privilege mode. So enable secret class, enable. Okay, so enable secret class. So class is the password. Class, okay, is the password, then enter. Now I'm on that privilege mode, as you can see. Okay. Now remember here, all these configurations we are doing them on this RAM, this your RAM, on a RAM. Okay. So I want to display the content. So this is the file known as running config file. Show run or show run config, short form, show run or show run config. Sorry. Okay. Show run or show running config. So you want to check what you have, as you can see, the host name. This class, can see this class, it is encrypted. Enable secret class. So imagine this class. Okay. Then enter. This is the interface we have configured. This is the interface we have configured, G000 with the IP address. You can see the IP address is indented here. Okay, under this G000. Okay. Other settings of the interface remain by default. Duplex, auto, speed, auto. We have not changed anything, but as you move on, you'll be able to see you can even modify the speed of the interfaces. Duplex, you can modify the duplex, okay, as you want. Half duplex, full duplex, okay, but for now it is auto. The other interfaces, G001, G002, are not set, and that's why you can see no IP address, okay, shutdown, meaning they have not been configured. Take note of that. Then this router has a VLAN. VLAN1 also not set. Okay. Then this was your banner message, and my interests are the password. Look at your password. Look at your passwords. Now we are at risk. If someone maybe perhaps is behind me and checking what I'm doing, so you'll be able to see, oh, line console is Cisco and line VTY is PDTP, you know, you are risking here. So this command you have talked about, service password encryption, that command is being used to encrypt the current, which is line console 0 password and line VTY password, the current and the future password, any other passwords that you will configure in future will be automatically encrypted as you enter. They take effect as you enter, pop, they take effect, so long as that command is set. So for me to have that command, then I'll go to global mode, conf T, or configure terminal. Then have service password tab key. Okay. So you can see, make use of those shortcuts. Make use of those hotkeys. Huh? Don't type everything. Engineers don't type everything anyway. Okay. So service password encryptions. Okay. Then enter. So I want to go back and verify whether this password of yours are now encrypted. And by the way, I don't have to go back to privilege mode to do so. Anytime you are on the mode, I can call it wrong mode in quotes. Huh? And if you want your command to be interpreted, always start with the word do. On the privilege, show running config or show run. On a global mode, do show run, because for it to be supported, because that's not the command being applied in this mode. Do show run, enter. If you enter, let's now use spacebar to move a bit faster. You'll find that those commands are encrypted. They're now encrypted. So no one would be able to know what you have used are there. Okay. Now a router has got what I'm calling a routing table. Router has a routing table. So you can check the content of the routing table by using the command show IP route. Show IP route. So because I'm here, I can just say do show IP route, or I can exit, go back to privilege and have show IP route. So either can work. Either can work. Do show IP route. Let's see what is there. What is there? There's only one, okay? There's only one network here, as you can see. As you can see. So we have this one here. Okay. As you can see. The link local, it means this has been automatically created out of that network, this one. Okay. So this is what will enable communication between the devices within the same network. So communicating with the PCs is now this. Node network is now this IP address, right? Take note of that. Now, let's go back now to our PCs and assign the IP addresses and assign the IP addresses. So I'll start with this one here, this PC, then desktop, then IP configuration, then have the IP address. Already I've used 1.1, which was my router's G000 IP address. So I have now the remaining 1.2 up to 1. But then this can support up to 254 addresses. These are class C. Class C can support up to 254. 2 raised to power, okay, you know that one. Huh? So you take the host beta. So it can support up to 254. We'll come to it later when you're doing subnetting. Huh? So meaning now still have a lot of IP addresses I can use. So I can have 192 here, .168.1.2 as the IP address of this. Then by default, of course, this class C. You know the ranges of those classes, class A, class B, class C. We need to know which one is class A, which one is class B. We'll come again to it. So the default subnet mask for class C IP address is always 255.255.255.0. That's why we have used prefix 24 because of those 24 network bits. 888. Then default gateway. I want to link this PC of mine here with this router. And that's why I'm setting the default gateway. The default gateway will be the IP address of this interface. And it will be the same on all devices because you see, we are all under one umbrella, this router. So you must have the default gateway of this router in all these devices. Huh? So the only way the two devices now, or these devices will be communicating with the router. So 192.168.1.1. Okay. The DNS server address, yes, if you have the server, yes, it's a server here, but we don't specify whether it's a DNS server or which other server. If you have a server, you want to link that your PC to the server, still it's okay. Just give the IP address of the server. This server here, you put here. Maybe it's a DNS server. Maybe it's an FTP server. Maybe it's a DHCP server. I don't know. So that depends, okay, with that. But I'll leave it blank for now. So I'll close this. Then go to the server itself. I'm also linking this server of yours. So desktop, IP configurations. So I can use 192.168.1.2. No, .3, because already I've used .2. So I cannot use .2 again because that will be a conflict of IP address. Because we are under the same network, which is the network 192.168.1.0. That's our network. So in that 0, you are number 1. In that 0, you are number 2. In that 0, number 3. In that 0, number 4. So all of us, we are sharing that network. So two different devices cannot have the same what? IP address under the same subnet. Conflict of IP address will be experienced there. Then default gateway again will be 192.168.1.1. Okay, there. We move to the next device, your laptop now. Again, desktop here, IP configuration, then 192.168.1. Did you use .3? Yes. So can you have dot 4? Mask will be populated automatically. 10, 192.168.1.1 default gateway. Okay. Okay. So now it's time to do your verification. I mean to verify whether they're communicating. So I want to ping this to this. I want to ping. Are they communicating? So I can ping command prompt of that. I can ping 192.168.1.1, which is the router. Okay, you can see reply. You should be able to interpret all this output we are getting. So meaning there are 4 packets that have been sent, as you can see. 4 packets have been sent 4 packets. Okay, received 4 packets, lost 0. So meaning this PC and the router are communicating. How about this PC? Because I'm on that PC 0. Am I able to ping the server, which is .3? Okay, you can see, yes, they are communicating. Okay, how about .3? No, this .4. Okay, yes, they are communicating. How about .10? How about .10? How about .10? And tell me why I'm getting that. Tell me why I'm getting that. Request timed out. Request timed out. Why am I getting that? Why am I getting that? Why am I getting that? Why request timed out? No packets being sent. Send 4, received 0. Lost 4. Why am I getting that, someone? Correct. There is no device with that IP address. So that means you are attentive. Okay. But anyway, the point is, these are some of the output that you always encounter. Sometimes, yes, you have the IP address, you have the device with the same IP address, but you're getting request timed out. Yes, possible. Yes, let me challenge your mind. It's possible. So the issues, there are so many factors that could contribute to that. It could be the issue of firewall. Okay. It could be the issue of maybe the device not connected to the router. If at all we don't have the default IP address on that device being set, it is removed. Okay. Yes. So it can have that challenge. Yes, thank you. It could be the device is offline, as you have said. Those are so many things. So, and that's why you are there. That's why you have been taken there, because those are the basic things, I know you'll be engaged to do. Angalia kama kuna network hapo. So it's not by your naked eyes commands. Okay. You can have trace at command. Trace at command is another window command. And to trace that. Okay. So you can see there's one route. Of course, there's only one router. It's tracing the routes which are available. So in our case, it's only one route, by the way. And that's why you can see this is one route. This cable is one route. So assuming there's another router here configured, 3 or 4 routers. So it means it will go through each of those routers and list those routes for you. So I'm able to go through router 1. I'm able to go through router 2, router 3, I'm not able to access router 4. That's why it's not being listed. So troubleshooting starts from router 4. That's where the problem is. Okay. As we'll be able to see in the level 2, because now we'll be having those number of routers being set are there. Then still I can access remember there are passwords that we have used here. Line console password, yes, you have seen that one. A privileged password, enable secret password, you have seen that one, but you have not used line VTY PDTP password. It's for remote access. I'm on my PC, you are in your office. You don't have to go with the console cable to the server room to access it, if at all there's connectivity. You know the IP address of that particular router. You want to check maybe, or there's some new configurations you want to add on that router from your office without going to the server room. So allow me to use Telnet for now, because it's a window, it's one of the Windows utility that we have. Then SSH will be set in the next level. So Telnet, what do you want to Telnet? Space 192.168.1.1. I'm telnetting this router. Enter. So you can see this message, the port is opened for me. This port, the port is opened for me. Okay, telnet port. So this is the message I'm getting. Okay. Then the password you're putting here is not line console password, sorry. It's not line console password. It's not enable secret password. The password you're putting here is a line VTY password for remote access, PDTP. PDTP. Oh, sorry. Oh, timeout. Timeout. Enter again. Okay. PDTP. Enter. Okay. There we are. From the PC, you are on your router remotely. Remotely. Okay. So this is a user mode. So what you require is enable. So you can see it's directly taking you to where? User mode. Okay. Enter. Then you want to access privilege mode, which was class. So have your class to access that mode, because now you're on that router. And there you are. And there you are. So from the router, you can ping the other devices. Ping from this router, you can ping 192, and to ping your laptop, and to ping your desktop, and to ping your server. Okay, you can ping. Okay, which kind of results are we getting? You can see, look at the difference between those output. So this is what you'll get. Success rate is 80%. Remember, there are packets being sent to find out whether the device is there, and that's what is causing all this delay. But again, when you try to ping again, you'll find that no delay. Success rate is 100%, 5/5. Okay, from the router. Okay. If you exit, it will take you back to your PC, drive C, your PC. You can as well remotely access this switch. You can as well remotely access this switch. And for you to access this switch, now, the physical ports, remember, you cannot configure the interfaces of the switch with the IP address, those physical ports. No. Hakuna siku itakubali. It's the virtual interfaces you are setting. And that's why if you point on this, it's a 24 switch port, but you can see this VLAN 1 at the very end. By default, this switch is VLAN 1. All these interfaces that you can see are part of VLAN 1. So you can enable that interface on the switch, because we are not set it. So you can have that enable config T. I'll avoid the host name for now. Have int interface, okay, interface VLAN1, VLAN1 IP address, because it's still on the same network. I can have 192.168.1.10. Let me have that .10 that we had used, 255.255.255.0. Okay, then no shut, just like the other one. But remember, this is software based. This is software based. Virtual interface is software based. Okay, so I've enabled it. I've enabled it. So it means therefore, can end this. But then I'm supposed to save copy, running config, startup config. Okay, copy, running config, startup config, enter. Then enter to save that work. Did we save the one on the router? I don't remember saving the one on the router. Cisco enable plus. Okay. If you don't want to do copy running config, you can just have the command write. Right. Still, it does the same thing. It is saving the work. So which one is easier for you? Depends with you. The point is you have saved the work. Okay. So you have saved the work. So write command can be used. Copy running configs, that config can be used. So I've saved all this. Now, guys, as we wind up, can we access the switch from the PC? Yes. Still, you can telnet .10. But unfortunately, look at what will happen here. Okay. You see what's happening? The error we are getting, it's because I was a bit intentional here. It's because you have not configured a remote password on a switch, line VTY. Don't expect to do any remote access if LAN VTY password is not set. That's the purpose of line VTY. So you must set the line VTY for you to do the remote access. Even though you have set the VLAN, yes, that's okay. Perfect. But the line VTY password not set, so you cannot access that. Oops, sorry for that, guys. Oops. Okay. So I was saying, line VTY password must be set for any remote access. And that's one of the common questions that normally do appear in the certification exams sometimes. So and so was trying to access this, and the following error, appears. So how would you advise engineer so and so what you need to do? Those kind of application questions. Okay, so be careful. So here, so you have to go and set the line. And by the way, we need all password. You can set line console password, line password Cisco. You will need all password because they'll be required at one point. You cannot enable if password has not been set. Okay, exit. Then line VTY I can do 0 to 15. 16 users to access it remotely. Okay. Password. Yeah, I can see some questions are on the chat. I'll look at them when I'm through. Password. I can put another password. ICTA. Small letter. For that. Then log in. Then I can do enable secret class. Okay. I can do host name. What is it? Oops, okay. I can do host name can call it S1. Okay. I can exit. I can save. I can save that. Right, command. Okay. Then from there, I can go back. Was it on this device? Yes. I can go back and now do remote access. So you'll be able to see, even though I've not set the banner message, but I can now you're being prompted to have that password, which is ICTA. Okay. And I'm now on that switch. Okay. Enable. Then I can have my class. Assuming you had not set enable security class, the moment you just type enable, enter, you'll be told no password set. So you have to go back and set the password. Okay. I'm now on the switch. Okay. Remotely. I can disable. I can disable. It will take me back here. Then from the switch, sometimes you want to walk into this system from where you are, from the PC to the switch, from the switch to the router. Okay, I can delete a router while on the switch. 192.168.1.1 possible. Okay, from the switch I can delete a router. Okay, BDTP. I'm on the router. Okay, so when now you'll be exiting, so it will be router, switch, PC. So if you have like 25 devices, you don't have to go back to the PC, then access this. No. From this router, if there's another router you want to access, that router is based in Rwanda. It's based in Uganda. It's based in, Kericho. It's based in LD. Just do telnet here and on that device. So that's how you can do the remote access while doing your troubleshooting or while just confirming something on those devices. So guys, that's what I wanted actually to have today in details. I know there's a lot of work. If you check on your portal, there are a lot of labs that are available that you can do. If you check on your portal, so there are a lot of labs that you can do or you can access. And mostly some of those are syntax checker. Syntax checker, you don't need packet tracers. Everything, just do it on the syntax checker platform are there. Okay, so I can exit here, exit to which device? To switch. Okay, exit to which device? To PC. That's how, depending on how you have accessed it. Okay, guys, I know we have taken much time. We were supposed to end at 7, but because I know we had a lot that I was supposed to cover, especially on this part of configurations, I could not do anything but just to ensure that we have at least covered that. So I know you'll do more work on your end. when you'll have ample time. So these things are with you. You'll do them the way you want. Even after the training, you still have to do a lot of practice there. Okay. So that's marked the end of this. Yes, share the recordings. Yes, even the one, the yesterday's recording was shared. The moment it will be available, I will share it, guys. Sorry, I need to go through the chat platform to see whether there are questions that I'm supposed to respond to, or someone has already responded to those ones. I'm just laughing. There's a funny comment here I've seen. Yes, it's possible inaweza kulipua kichwa. But just compose your mind, relax. Haitalipua kichwa. Wewe ndo utalipua. Okay. I think someone was responding to some of these questions, or at least you are responding to each other's questions, and I can see the response is okay. Okay, I think these were just chats amongst you guys. Oh, what's happening? You can't access. I think this someone actually had a challenge accessing that. On a wireless, on a wireless media, why does the server is unreachable yet? I don't. Is this our question, or someone was responding to someone question? I don't know, because we have not yet covered the wireless devices. That one will be covered in level 2, CCNA 2. But it's just the issues of reconfigurations, the IP addresses. So I know in CCNA 2 we'll be talking about the wireless configurations, and you will see what you are doing, whether it aligns with your question. Yeah, I also notice you have typing Cisco with the capital. Okay, I think these are the responses. Oh, someone was on Linux and I can't get the packet tracer to work. Did we, I don't know, did we see the one for packet tracer? There were versions for, was Linux given there? Um, I can't remember. Yesterday when we were accessing those material, the link for downloading packet tracers, did we have the one for, did you have the one for, I've downloaded, but I can't log in. Oh, for Boonti, yeah, it is for Boonti, now I remember. You can't log in. Is it possible you share your screen? Maybe, if something, I can just check. Is it possible? Okay. Okay. Kevin, let me check. So guys, we are through. I'm just responding some few questions here and there, but I'm through. In case you want to drop, fine, feel free to do so. Kevin, I'm making you a presenter so that maybe you can check your challenge together. Even your colleagues here will be able to advise, maybe depending on that. Okay. So you are a presenter, Kevin. At the bottom of your screen, there's a share button. I believe you're using your laptop. Okay, there we go. So where is that? Your PT?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you, Kevin.
Let me show
So
you
take
what.
us to your Linux.
This is the packet tracer. I've downloaded it.
Yes, yes.
But can you see the packet tracer?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yep.
I can see the login.
Yes.
The login.
When I click login, it doesn't give me the new window in my browser.
Login is in progress. A new window has been opened in your browser. Okay, please sign in. I think this must be the issues with the. I don't know how is your connectivity. Is it strong?
Yeah, it's strong. I tried this from yesterday, but it doesn't open up the browser to log in.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And okay, I can see. Yeah, I suppose I'm going to give you a new page where you can log in with your NetAcad credential. Oops, I don't know how to. I don't know how to assist here because it says it's in progress. Huh? Someone is telling you to
That
keep you.
doesn't open anything.
I can see. Even if you give it sometimes, it can't open still.
Yeah, when you stay, I opened it for more than an hour and it was still stuck in the same. It doesn't open.
Uh-huh. Hmm. Oh no. Can you launch it again from your what desktop there and close and see. Then
Also, here's the thing: when I change to this, when I change to China, it takes me here, but it doesn't. After I log in, it won't show the that I've been given access to the packet tracer. It just take me to the networking page, the NetAcad page.
but hiyo China itachange kila kitu hapo.
So it's just stuck here. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I can imagine the situation you are in because of that. I'm just trying also to figure out why that. Because for me, I've been using the one for the virtual machines mostly. I don't have any Linux-based device nowadays. Only using the virtual machines to do the same. Oops. Guys, any idea? Someone who had the same challenge and how it can be sorted? You can just raise up your hand. I'll unmute you if you want to advise. You want to advise Kevin on that nature of the problem. So I'm wondering why all this. And you don't have any Windows PC with you?
using
Is your
Linux.
laptop? Is your laptop or a
Yes,
desktop?
yes.
It's your laptop, yeah, okay. I'm just wondering why. Any maybe uh, maybe anything popping up that needed to be allowed?
Pardon?
Anything popping up that needed, maybe something is blocked or something that needed to be allowed somewhere?
Really, it's supposed to, because this is the default browser, it's supposed to open on Chrome as the default browser. It's supposed to open here.
Mm.
I don't know. It hasn't.
Unless maybe you check the settings of your settings. See. Any other browser that you have? I can see people are advising maybe if you can try another browser. Do you have Mozilla or something?
Yeah.
So you can just try and change. See whether someone has a problem with the password. Felix. Okay, let's see what Kevin can do. Kevin, have you tried to change anything?
Yes.
I've
changed the default browser, then I started it again.
But you're getting the same message? Okay. Maybe you can think about it. But meanwhile, if you have Windows, somewhere you can use it. It's to save time. Because of the crashing program that we have, can try and see that one.
Okay, you can try.
Someone with a password problem? Okay. Okay. Someone with a password problem, who was this, Felix? Felix, are you the one? Felix, you are the presenter, so maybe go ahead and share the challenge that you have. Felix, are you there? You can unmute. Unmute, Felix. Oh, sorry. Who was this? Kuna mtu anasema kuna challenge ya password ama nimeona nini? Okay, seems sawa ameenda. Kama ako raise your hand nikuone. Kama umeenda fine. We can call it a day, guys. So let's meet tomorrow. Let's meet tomorrow and see what you can do again. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for your time. So enjoy the rest of your evening.